I am Ray, and this is how to actually change your life. You see, everything revolves around our self-concept. Let's look at it this way. Our identity, our self-concept, produces certain thoughts. The thoughts that we have create certain feelings within us. Our feelings influence our actions. Our actions create consequences in the world, and we experience and reflect upon those consequences. But everything is rooted in identity, in our self-concept. And so if you have a negative self-identity, whether unconscious or conscious, this will produce negative thoughts, negative feelings, and cause you to act in negative ways that create negative consequences in your life. And if you are unconscious of this process, then as Carl Jung said, your unconscious will direct your life and you will call it fate. And you will not understand why things are happening the way they are. Now, we only have power to change two things in our life. Our conscious thoughts or our reactions to our experiences and our actions. These are the only two things. We can't directly change our emotions. We can't exactly change our self-concept. We have to act in different ways, which produces different thoughts and feelings and inevitably changes our self-concept. Or we begin thinking different thoughts, which begins changing our feelings, changing our actions, and ultimately our self-concept. Now, most people struggle with self-sabotage. When your conscious mind wants to make a change, when you want to do something right and improve your life, but then you end up kind of hitting this brick wall over and over again. No matter how hard you try to improve, you seem to revert back to old, unhelpful patterns of behavior. And the reason that this is because the intelligence of your body, the unconscious mind, is designed for survival. And the best thing for survival is familiarity, is what is known. And so if you try to change yourself, if you try to go out and enter into the unknown, become a better version of yourself, your unconscious will say, nope, we're not going that way. Because the unknown means death. If you're sitting around a campfire in the middle of a forest, you are safe, you are in the known, but you are surrounded by chaos and darkness and the unknown, and there could be grizzly bears, there could be any number of predators ready to get you. And so our body loves the familiar. That is why it's called our comfort zone. We don't want to leave it. So what has to be done? We have to reprogram our unconscious mind if we want to really change on a deep level. Now, our unconscious mind is always taking snapshots of our experiences in order to store as memory, to remember for later, for survival purposes. For instance, if you have a strong negative emotion, your body will remember whatever experience that created that strong negative emotion, and it will remember it for later, so that you instantly act whenever you are faced with that experience again. The problem is that we get traumatized during childhood and later in life as well. But a lot of the things that we go through during our childhood stick with us for the rest of our life. So for instance, if you continued to have negative experiences around other people, if other people didn't really get along with you, or you had trouble getting along with others, that would continue to reinforce a negative self-concept around the social instinct. And this would make it very difficult to relate and be around others. Because every time you would be around others, your body would automatically create an anxiety response or a fear response, some negative emotion, an uncomfortable feeling when you are around others. And so this permanently gets you stuck in this lone wolf kind of state, where no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to say the right things, and people just don't get you. Now, it's nobody's fault that these kinds of things happen, but it is our responsibility, because we have the power to change it. We don't have the power to do anything else. Our thoughts and our actions. So the trick is to reprogram your unconscious mind. You must speak the language of your body, that is emotions. Just as your body takes note whenever you experience a strong negative emotion, your body also takes note whenever you experience a strong positive emotion. So your mind receives information in the form of patterns and symbols and translates that into chemical reactions in your body we know as feelings. So if you want to change your unconscious identity, you must begin pairing a positive emotion with the traumatized experience or the negative pattern or negative symbol. In our example, the pattern is other people, being in a social environment. And if our current feeling is negative, then we have to change that negative emotion and turn it positive in order for our identity to change. Now, this can be true for anything, whether it's money, whether it's relationships. And so the way we begin feeling differently is we begin choosing different thoughts. For instance, if naturally around other people, your mind says things like, oh, well, other people don't like me. Oh, I'm going to say something stupid. I just know it. On and on and on. All of these negative stories that we tend to repeat for ourselves. These do nothing but to reaffirm the negative self-concept and continue to make our life hell. And so if you want to change, you must begin replacing those negative thoughts with positive ones. First, you want to become aware that you are even ruminating on these negative thoughts in the first place. Stop believing them, stop feeding them, because they do nothing but to destroy our lives. And then consciously we begin to react differently to our experiences. We change our attitude and say, okay, no, I want to live a better life. I do not want to struggle with this problem anymore. So I am going to continue to repeat good thoughts in my mind until I start feeling differently about myself. And as you begin repeating new thoughts, you'll start feeling differently and you'll start taking different actions. And over time, day by day, slowly you will change your self-concept and your life will begin to reflect that new change. I hope this has been helpful. I am Ray. Much peace and many blessings. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below.